We will now cover the radius and the ulna. These are the bones of the forearm shown here. An interesting aspect of these bones is that they will cross over each other when we flip our hands. Remember the anatomical position is with our palms forward like this. So in this position, the bones will be parallel to each other. When we then turn our hands over, the bones will cross in front of each other. So it's important to remember that the names of the movements are based off of anatomical position. So we'll be referencing these bones in their parallel form. First, we have the radius. The radius sits laterally to the ulna. One way to remember this is that the radius is rad and gives a thumbs up because the radius will be by the thumb. For the radius, we will start on the proximal end. This is the head of the radius. It's this round, flat portion here. Head of the radius. Just below it, we have the neck of the radius. And just below that, we have the radial tuberosity, which is this plateau here. On the distal end of the radius, we have the styloid process, which will be on the lateral side. So you will need to call this the styloid process of the radius. We have the ulnar notch on the medial side here. To determine the rights and lefts, I look for the styloid process that is always on the lateral side by the thumb. Then I look for the radial tuberosity that is more anterior. So putting those together, we know that this would be a right, and we can double check with our own arm. We now have the ulna. We will also start proximally here as well. First, we have the olecranon process. This makes up the pointy part of our elbow. This large curved portion is the trochlear notch. This will articulate with the trochlea of the humerus. The coronoid process is this pointy portion here. You will need to call this the coronoid process of the ulna. This indent here is the radial notch. This is where the radial head articulates with this part of the ulna. Rotating the ulna, we're going to go over the ridge and a little farther down. We can see this bumpy portion here, which is the ulnar tuberosity. On the distal end of the ulna, we have the head. So this will be the head of the ulna. The pointy portion here is the styloid process of the ulna. To determine rights and lefts, we know that the trochlear notch faces anteriorly, and then the styloid process will need to point medially. So taken together, this would be a right. We will now look at a group of them together. So sometimes they will be grouped together like this in lab. So we can check ourselves with our own arm, and we can know that this is a left radius and a left ulna because the styloid process points towards our thumbs, and this point is going to be upwards. So this would be a left group.